Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Adrienne. So Adrienne recently went through the Little School of Big Change, and she says at the top of her question, in all capitals, I loved the Little School of Big Change. Awesome, Adrienne, I loved having you. She says, my sticking point now in this beautiful understanding is energy work, which she has in quotes. She says, I'm into energy work and Reiki for body healing. I'm taught by mentors to notice my energy and how it feels inside my body from others' energy. I think she means how her energy feels different from other people's energy. She says, when I have a heavy sensation in my chest, am I feeling my thinking or am I feeling others' energy? Is every feeling inside my body due to a thought? If so, that disproves that I'm feeling other people's energy. Okay, so Adrienne, I don't know, because here's how it looks to me. There's just energy. There's just energy, and then there's a bunch of language, and there's an experience of being a me and a you and a me and other people and thought versus some other sort of energy. All of this looks very separate and very chopped up, and for sure that seems to be our experience often, right? And that's a very real experience that we all live in, at least for a period of time. And in the bigger picture, I want you to see if you can get a sense that it's all just energy, and then our brain gives us that experience I just mentioned. So a brain comes in, chops everything up, says yours, mine, his, we're all separate, we're all individual here. We need to protect our energy. Mine feels different from yours. I don't know the energy work you do, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know it intimately enough to know anything about it, really. So I don't know how anyone would ever know if it's their energy or someone else's energy. I'm not sure how you go about doing that. But here's the thing. We only feel experience. Now, sometimes we call experience thought. It's not your thought. It's not my thought. It's just like I would say, if something is being felt, I don't know that that's your energy versus someone else's energy. Now, again, I understand at the level at which you're talking, we're saying the same thing, but we're kind of at different points along the spectrum. So there can be a experience, a story of a me and a you, and you have bad energy or good energy, and you're giving it to me, and I get that. We humans, again, from this brain that chops everything up, we can live in an experience that looks and feels that way. But I don't know. That's just where we sometimes feel like we're living. And it seems to me like there's a lot of story behind that, a lot of meaning, a lot of separation. Fine. No problem with that. But again, when we back it up a little bit, that's maybe over here along the spectrum. I'm probably backwards on my camera. It's probably over here along the spectrum. And where I want to point you is kind of seeing, okay, before all that, it's just one. Before a brain comes in and says you and me are separate and you have energy and I don't, I have different energy, that doesn't exist. There's just this. And then the chopping happens. So when you say, when I have a heavy sensation in my chest, am I feeling my thinking or others' energy? We just experience. We just experience what we experience. Now, again, we might call that thought. Let's say it's someone else's energy. Let's just say, I don't know, but let's say someone walks in the room. They've just gone through something horrible. They have a very heavy energy. They walk in the room and you start feeling that heaviness. That makes perfect sense to me. It doesn't really mean that they're separate. I think we feel that because we're not separate at all. We're all one. So we feel fluctuations in energy. Now, see, a mind is going to want to say, is that mine or is it yours? But those are just the labels that a separating mind will want to give. It's not mine or yours. It's not theirs or yours. It's just energy. Did it come when they walked in because maybe they just went through something horrible? Sure. But who cares? Like I'm not sure why that's important. And again, I know in energy work, I think that sometimes there's a lot around protecting from others' energy. And I guess, I don't know if that makes sense to you, and it that's wonderful. to me, it kind of looks like a lot of story at a different place along the spectrum, where there's a lot of separation and a lot of meaning. It looks like a heavy story about there's a me that needs protection. I don't think so. I think for sure people walk in rooms and we feel fluctuations of energy. We've been feeling that our whole lives. We could be alone in a room and we feel a fluctuation, but whether that's my energy fluctuated and I'm feeling it versus their energy is heavy and now I have to feel that, I don't see how it matters. What are we going to do with that? It's all energy. It all moves. It all changes. There's no upside or benefit in knowing where it came from or whose it is, as if we can even know that. And I think often, almost always, the reason we want to know why so much is because we think we're going to do something to change it. So I'm guessing there's something in the philosophy that says, if I know it's their energy, I can protect myself from it, or something like that. But here's the thing, Adrienne, why would we have to protect ourselves from energy? We are energy. Everything is energy. Life is energy. What's to be protected from? So when you say, am I thinking, if I have that heaviness versus others' energy, I think it's the same thing. Even if we want to say, oh, this person with heavy energy walked in and now we all feel it. Well, we're feeling that through something called thought. There's no other way to feel. How else do we feel it? We feel it through something called thought. And who cares? Who cares if it's yours or theirs or thought or energy? It's still safe experience. So I don't know if that makes sense. It does in my head. But I guess the bigger picture that I want you and everyone listening to see is we can get really in the weeds of things and look for the cause, this precise cause and all of that. But when there's a lot of separation and a lot of why and a lot of protection and all of that, I don't know. That's something to kind of, for me, it's like, hey, let's zoom this out a little bit and see if we can see how it's really all the same thing. Now, that doesn't mean you don't take practical steps that feel good to you. So if you have someone in your life where every time they walk in the room, you feel heavy, maybe don't have them in your life. Like, that's just common sense. But again, it isn't, or do what makes sense to you. You don't have to cut them out of your life, but do what makes sense to you to feel good around that person. That to me just kind of comes up as common sense. And I think we're navigating that in life all the time. And we can navigate that so much better when we aren't afraid of what we feel, when we know that it's all energy, that it doesn't belong to anyone, that it's nothing that we have to necessarily protect against the way our mind might say that we do. So I don't see anything being disproved. I don't see anything contradicting, really, what you learned in the school and what you're sharing here. Not at all. I just see that there's just what arises. And when we see that it's safe and it is us, because we are all of it, we are everyone, we are everything. The separations are part of the thought created experience, part of the dream, part of what a brain does. And great. We live in that dream. Wonderful. But it's really wonderful to see that it's really all one. And then we're living in this illusion of separation where a lot of protection is needed. I hope that helps, Adrienne. It may not. You can let me know. But hopefully that's been helpful for you and for others listening. Send your questions about anything at all to askamy@thelittleschoolofbigchange.com. And I will see you back here next Monday. Have a great week.